What's up again, everybody? Today we're gonna open a box, and I'm not doing it alone. I'm hanging out with Sid. What's up, Sid? How's it going?
It's going well. It's going really well these days.
That's awesome. I'm glad. Could you introduce yourself so that people at home can see the hype that we're opening this box together?
So I'm Sid. Full first name Sid Qureshi. I'm the CEO of Haunted Castle Gaming, the creator of Genesis of Battle of the Champions. This is my baby project for almost 20 years now. We've been in the market since 2017, and I think our first big content creator to do anything for us was DM Armada. So I'm so happy to be here today because it's all coming together. The stars are aligned and the world is good again.
Oh, come on. The world was kind of good before, but now it's even better because we're hanging out. We're going to open this box. Okay, so in this box is something. You want to say what it is? Or should we just open it? What do you think?
Just open it.
Okay, he's just open it. So I just want to point this out really quick. The box is really, I mean, it's like kind of big. It's got this really cool Genesis tape on it. I really like the Genesis tape. I really like it so much. I'm gonna open it from the other side because I just don't want to.
And before we jump into this, you gotta make sure you open it from this side. Because there was another person who decided he was like, I don't want to cut through this tape, and opened it from the bottom. I'm like, everything's upside down. Don't do that.
Does it bother you if I open it upside down?
Yes, a little bit.
So it will bother you if I open it upside down. I will make a note of that. No, you okay, so like he actively told me before this started that I have to open it this way. And now I really don't want to. I really want to open it upside down. Look how easy it would be. Sid, it would be so easy. I'll open it from this. I'll bite the bullet and I'll cut the cool looking tape, and we can see what's in here. Now I know there's a box in here, and it's a box of Genesis Battle of Champions. Oh, look at this cool card.
Look at that presentation. See, if you open it from the bottom, it'd be all upside down and everything.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna open it.
You're so mean to me.
No, okay, I won't do it. I can't do that. I'm just delaying the video at this point. People just clicked off the video because of that gag. Look at this. This is cool looking. I like this card. It feels very thick. I'm curious to see what's in it. So, if you didn't see already, second edition Jaelara. Do you want to talk quickly about the second edition and what that actually means?
So, we, up to this point, have released 4 sets. Alpha, Beta, Jaelara, Welcome to Jaelara, and Raise. These 4 sets were in small print run because we were still trying to figure out how to grow as a company and what to do. Now we're in the process of a more global launch of the game, and we want to give access to players to get the cards that they need. However, instead of reprinting all those old sets with all the typos and all the mistakes we've seen in the game, we're thinking we fix all those issues, reprint only the actual played cards. So all the useless cards that no one touches at all, what's the point of reprinting those? It's just a waste of cardboard. So we cut those out, made a new set, which consolidated the best of the best and threw them together here, and fixed like allocations of the amount of rares you get per pack, and commons, uncommons, making it a lot easier to make a stronger deck with buying fewer product.
That's really interesting. So I knew that this was like an update and a refresh to the game and to the way that you kind of displayed things, but I didn't realize that you went as far as dropping cards officially from the first set to this point. I think that's a really cool idea, and it shows like a growth kind of through the lifespan of the game.
So those cards are still tournament legal. It's just no one on a casual level, for draft, for sealed, for constructed, like on no competitive player level did anyone use those cards. So every time I print anything, I'm always thinking, how much paper is being wasted? How much is this impacting the environment? And I don't want to print things and waste that cardboard, that precious paper, if no one's gonna use it.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point. I think that's a really well stated point as well. All right, so let's see what this thing is, because there's something in here. Jaelara 2nd Edition Genesis Battle of Champions. Oh, jeez. We got a book. We got to read this book. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna scan it. Really, is it okay if I scan this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Go
Oh, it's
for
a
it.
lot of. You know, there's some of this stuff that you just talked about.
Yep.
A lot of it's what you
So,
talked about.
I want to say
Oh,
that
look,
I
there's a
got.
sketch. That's me right there. There I am. You got my hair correct. Look at that little wisp right there. That's that thing. I don't know how you did that. It's amazing.
So as I was writing this, yours was the first package I put together, and I hand wrote the entire letter, and I was so proud of myself. And then I was like, I cannot do this another 20 times. So for everyone else, they got this little like printed thing that you got right there, the
Okay.
little slip of paper, and then a small little note. But you got this long note.
Dude, legit, man. I got a note. Look at me. That's fun, man. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Oh, by the way, this is also kind of a good way to talk about the fact that you have a Patreon. But before we talk about that, I want to know what this is. What is this card?
There's one specific card that got printed, and I was like, you know what? Other people are gonna have to struggle to get this, but I know you will really love this. So go ahead, check it out. I want you to do this right now.
Oh, spoil. Oh wait,
You have to actually take it out. You have to take it out.
Oh, good, because I was turning it over. It's a thick like protector right here. Oh my gosh, there we go. I'm just gonna move this. We're just gonna get on out of the way for now. Just go over there for now. All right, so I gotta take this out and I gotta flip it. We're gonna flip it. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's see what it is. Oh my goodness gracious, get right out of here. No freaking way. Oh my god. Guys, look, this is the best art I think in your game. This is by far the best art. This card is so cool. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah. See, I had to be here for this moment. This particular
Look at the
moment.
shine, man. This is another cool thing. I like the way that that you guys do rainbow foil. Like this mirror shine kind of effect is really cool. It's very pretty. It reminds me a little bit of Dice Masters, but it's got your own unique like flat and wash kind of look where it all blends together. I like that a lot.
Now, I am gonna this is where we as a company want to own up to something. We've noticed that in the process of making the set, that some of the foils started curling.
Yeah, I do see that.
And this is a common issue with a lot of TCGs. We actually dug into the process to figure out why this was happening. And we now know, and I'm not going to be announcing it because I don't want to shift blame or anything like that. But we are in the process of putting together a customer support page where people who get any foils or any damaged cards in their boxes can message us, and we'll look into how to replace those for them.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah,
I like that. I think that's an incredibly generous thing to do, and it's one that I think just generally owning up to like a mistake or an error issue with printing, things like that are it speaks highly of a company, you know. It speaks highly.
It's especially since this is the first time we're doing foiling, and we did some foiling promos in the past. Those came out really well, but this was the first time doing it on a large scale, and we just honestly don't know what to expect. And as the company grows, there are gonna be mistakes that are made from either a game design perspective or from a manufacturing perspective or from any regards. And we want to stand behind our product and tell you that if there are any issues with that, we have a help desk that we're spinning up so that people can email us, let us know their problems, and we will work towards fixing those.
I like it. I put this in a DM Armada sleeve, by the way.
Nice.
I got
That
this.
is beautiful.
Those are cool looking. So I thought that's a good card. That should go in that sleeve. Okay, so now we move on to the rest of the box. Let's take a look. Let's dive in. There's a couple other things in here. There's some purifying waves, right?
So those are your content creator special promos. There's a little box at the bottom for you to sign and send out to your community.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you see one of them I signed, if you flip it over.
Oh, really? On the back?
Very last one. Last one.
Ta-da! Ooh, nice. Oh, look, there's like you set up like a spot for it.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a cool idea. I've never seen that before.
all the content creators who are helping us spread the word of Genesis, they all got their own batch of these promos so that they can sign them and send them out to their community.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to do that. We're nearing the, as far as this channel goes, we're nearing the 5,000, excuse me, subscriber mark. So I think that'll work for us to be able to add that to the pool. I think that'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
All right, what else is in here? Oh, look. You know what? I like slimline boxes like this. I don't know how you feel about that. I actually kind of like this better than the big old fat boxes. Dude, there's a playmat in here.
Yeah. We gotta hook you up.
That's awesome. Oh, is it the blue one?
This one?
The pretty like deep blue one? Or is this new?
So this is actually part of our line of the premium game mats, which are Stitch Edge.
Right, right.
So these are supposed to last a little bit longer and have kind of the higher quality.
Sure.
But this is for, there's 4 different clans in the game. This is Vishud, which is the, they're more the barbarians, hunter-gatherers, warrior type of characters.
Yeah. This is beautiful. I like how thick it is, too. It's a thick mat, man.
Yeah.
Thick playmat. That's awesome. I gotta set this up. And so I have this playmat that you can't see it right now because, well, maybe you can right there. It's my wife got me a wine rack to put playmats on, and I have the I actually have a Genesis playmat on it right now. It's just really really thickly rolled. So now I have to thickly roll another Genesis playmat so that I can have the double playmat stash. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to do this thing? I want to open every pack. Oh, God. Well, I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to open every pack. Deal?
Deal.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom cut, because one time someone yelled at me in a comment. They were like, why does he cut the top? And I was like, you know what? That's a great question. I'm not going to cut the top. So apparently, if you yell at me in comments, it makes me do things.
Well, I yelled at you right now to not open the bottom of the box. I was very close to opening that bottom of that box. I almost did it just for the gag. Ooh, that's a cool front pack art. I like that. That looks good. I also like the angel art that you have. Whoops. Oh, jeez. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do the old mix them up anyway. Like this art. That art looks good. That's cool looking. That's another thing that I've really enjoyed about opening packs from Genesis, is that there's always something nice to look at. How do you feel about the art in the game so far? So it's been a fun evolution of a process because the art team, the people who work with us, they're a close group of friends who all went to school together. And we've added a few people since. But it started off with our art director, Damian, who did the artwork for Cognitive Restriction. He brought in his best friend and then his other friend, and it's just a small group of 4 of them. And since they were right out of art school, they were still learning and growing. And yeah, they're gonna make some mistakes here and there, but it's amazing being able, if you collect their artwork from like Beta, J, Rays, and going into Origins, you can actually track the evolution of their career growth. And
that's pretty cool.
Oh wow, look at their first piece compared to their newest piece and just how much they've grown as an artist.
I think this piece as well, this just piece of art is very evocative. It makes you want to know what's going on, you know? And it also communicates what's actually happening on the card. And those are 2 very important things when you're doing art for a card game, because when someone glances at a card, you want them to know what it's doing, and you want them to know, you know, like what is going on. You want them to kind of bait them into that understand, like check this card out, it looks so cool, what is it doing, that sort of thing. Is there a pack trick?
So you want to take 4 cards from the back here and bring them to the front.
Cool. And that puts 4 uncommons? No. What does that do?
So then it'll go commons, uncommons, your starter, and then rare.
Okay. Inferno Pits. I used this art in a video as a thumbnail. Don't tell the owner so I don't get sued.
He wouldn't mind. It's Damian again. It's our art director there.
That's cool. This was not. What was the art for this before?
That was, excuse me. That was the art before.
Really?
So one thing that changed in 2nd edition is we actually used a different printing machine. and the printing machine uses ink that's kind of like a mix of ink and resin.
That's
So
beautiful.
when it gets hit
Wow.
with UV light, it hardens right away. So that means that the ink stays closer to the surface and you get brighter colors.
Yeah, you do. This
Uh,
is way brighter. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's way improved.
So you get brighter colors, you get deeper blacks. Everything just looks a lot nicer.
It looks really good. So we're back to the baboon. We've got a lot of baboon. We've got cleave. Yeah, this honestly it feels better too. Like the cards themselves feel better. Got the Goliath
Nice.
Sphinx Eater. It's a good card. Shut down.
Yeah.
Malicious Persuasion.
So this used to be a rare, got shifted down to uncommon. It's one of my favorite cards. But one of the reasons we shifted it down was there were a bunch of cards in this set that only work well when you're running 6, 7, or 8 copies of them. So keeping them at rare was not fair to the players.
Right.
Because then you couldn't play with the card well. So shifting this down to uncommon now, in a box you get 3, 4 of them, and you're good.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Angel's Embrace. Look at that art. See, like that's really good. That's really cool.
Notice that the angel has 3 arms.
Oh, we got an epic. Arcana
Yeah.
Vigor. Look at that.
So
That
now
is
in these
cool.
packs where you get epics, you actually get 3 rares. You get the epic plus your 2 normal rares. in the
That
pack.
is cool. All right. Whoa, what is this?
Flip it over.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a
that's how we're doing
double-sided.
champions now.
Oh, see, I like that. I've always liked full art kind of champion representations because if you know what the card does, I mean, if it's so important and so pivotal, it's your champion. Knowing what it does means you can enjoy this side of it. You know,
Yes.
I think that's
you can
really
see the
cool.
full art of like, see the bottom of the blade, see her
Right.
boots, see the, a lot of those things that kind of get missed. Like the lighting on the ground.
Exactly,
Right?
you see the light on the ground. By the way, Meteorite, this is a great art too. And this card's really
Oh man,
cool.
you just love Dumyon's artwork. Like
I
that
do.
one art-
And this one too, Gilded Stag.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
fantastic.
I
It's
love this piece.
very painterly, right?
Yeah. Ramiana had a great knack for doing this style that was realistic but a little gritty at the same time.
Yes,
So
that's a good
she
way.
put together some really cool pieces.
That's a good way to describe it. It's realistic, but gritty or washed, whatever you
Yeah.
want to say about it. That's okay. I gotta stop. This feels really good. Hold on. I have some. I have one card. Where is it? It's like in this stack right here. In fact, I have a few right here. Look. Boom. So this is prior. These are
That's the old
promos.
printers. Yeah.
Like
So
there's
they
a,
had an older machine that was kind of the old style of ink. And when it hits the paper, you gotta just let it dry. You gotta let it sit for a couple seconds and let it dry. But now they actually hit it with a UV light to dry it right away.
you can tell the difference. I mean, it's far better in my opinion. Far better.
Yeah.
All right, so we got leap, just jumping out at you. We got the shoulder hop. This is another cool thing about the game too, is because it's tactical, you get cards that are literally what you see. It's like a move, you know. I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
Arcane Blast, Lion Mane Rabbit, which is always just hilarious. It's just
It has
hilarious.
sharp, pointy teeth.
He does.
There was just the joke of the rabbits going around in the game, and now we have an ongoing theme that every single set is gonna have a rabbit, and they're actually functionally fun cards.
I'm okay with that as a theme.
Yeah.
As a fellow Monty Python lover, this just hits me right in the feels. Got Landslide, Flame Jet. That's cool looking. Was this the same art too? Why don't I remember this card?
I don't know how much of Ray's packs you got.
Unhinged. I feel like I opened like 2 boxes of Rays. Ooh, look. There's an issue. We got some whitening on the top there. They ran into that. Lambs for the
So-
slaughter.
Just to talk about some of the cutting issues, what happened was there's 2 different ways to cut cards. One is called a die cut, and that works kind of like stamping cards out of the sheet.
Yeah,
So you have a wheel more or less, which is spinning, and the sheet feeds through it and just starts stamping the cards out.
Sure.
The other process is what they call a roll-em, where they take the sheet, they roll it into a machine, and it just has blades pointing down, and it slices the cards. Then they stack it together and they slice it the other way. So we were originally going to do a die cut, which is a much cleaner cut, but the machine that we were going to use had some issues and it was messing with the cards really badly. So they sent it off to go get inspected, and our options were either to wait for the die cut to get fixed, or move on to the roll-em.
Sure.
The roll-em always has risks, especially as you're doing a large print run, because if the blades get dull, they might not catch that early enough, and then you get a bunch of cards that are, the cuts aren't as clean.
Sure.
But we found out, we went with the roll-em, and by the time we finished the entire project, they finally called us and said that the die cut was fixed. And I was like, so it's good that we didn't wait, because then we would have been delayed by another 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very important thing. Earth Pillar is pretty cool. That was a rare, right?
Yeah. It got downshifted because, again, it's another card that's pivotal for your deck design. So why put it at the rare slot? To give players more access to it, and let the rares be truly rare worthy, right?
Yeah, I think that's smart. Adrenaline, this is the same art, and I think this art is awesome. That art is really cool. We got Idiris, and look, puppet control. I just used this in a video, actually. Funnily enough, puppet control. This card's cool looking. And then a giant scorpion. That's cool. Yeah. Gotta love the giant scorpions. I feel like I want to separate these out. That's my heart wants to do it. So I want to know these. I want to know the hits. Look, there's the epic right there, and then we'll keep the commons and uncommons right there. All right. So now we've seen a little bit of what each pack has to offer. Now let's see what we get. Let's cruise. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
What we get. Leap. We got the gut punch. The Inferno Pits again with the very precariously perched. Is it a camel?
No, that's Malik. That's one of the champions.
Oh my god, can you even tell? Oh, I see. He's standing looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
My eyes every single time. That looks like a camel. Do you not see that? You can't see it. The first thing. So now that you said it's Malik, I'm like, okay, I could see Malik, but that looked like a camel every single time. Walls of Vadas. How does it not look like that? This new art? Is this new art?
No.
It's just
There's
way
only
brighter.
one card that got new art, and that was the Baruch. If you get the horse, that's the one card that got new art.
Everything that looks just brighter and more colorful is throwing me. It's throwing me hard. In the best way, but it's throwing me hard. Dude, I don't even know how you.
This used to be a rare.
I don't even know how you say this. I know I don't have one of these.
Lulu Kakore is the boogeyman in the African culture. So in North Africa, their lore of the boogeyman, the creature is called Lulu Kakore.
You played this in a deck that you played against another dude on I think you played this on a stream.
Yeah,
I remember watching
that did not go as well as I hoped.
The old decoy rabbit. You gotta just hold the rabbit up. It's so funny. Oh my god. Oh, dude, Kabas.
So this card used to be the most sought after card in the game, because you needed about 8 or 9 of them, and they were rare and they were really hard to get. Now what we did is not only did we downshift it to uncommon, but our starter kits that are coming out with 2nd edition have 2 of them in it.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're really about, I know that for a lot of players, a secondary market is very important, and that's true. We don't want to deny that. But we made a game, and we really want the components of gameplay to be accessible.
You want people to play the game and be able to play it in any facet that you see fit, right?
We want the competitive decks to be a lot easier to come by. Now, if you want to get foil versions of all your cards or get epic versions of all your rares, go for that. That's your chase factor. But putting this card as a rare because it was the best card in the set is not a good justification for it. And as a designer, that was probably one of my bigger mistakes.
That's an interesting thing. I think that's really interesting to note. Necrolich, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
So and you see in the bottom right corner for Necrolich, the author of it. So in the 2 corners, on the left you have the artist, on the right you have the author. The author there, Steve-O, he got this card because he won the championship back in 2019, and this was the card he designed. So I just love that now it actually says his name, and like we can promote the different authors on the cards.
That's a good point. That's really cool. I didn't know this was the one that he designed. That's cool looking too.
Yeah.
Man.
I love that sword.
Yes, the sword with the like serration.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's almost like it's a chainsaw.
It is. It's almost like a chainsaw. It's like he ripped it off like a swordfish, right? Because they have that serrations, or the sawfish.
Yeah.
Sawfish has that serrations, which is kind of cool. Walls. We got walls again. Walls everywhere. Monothor. Is that how you say that? Monothor. Monothor.
Yeah.
Displace. Cattail Tiger. Kodama. I would love if I mispronounce something, you have to tell me. Arcane Shield, Landslide.
Oh man. Or we can learn how to pronounce it together.
Barik Naga. Is it Barik?
Yeah. I go with Barik Naga, but Barik makes sense.
I don't know. I just see it. You go ahead.
Tadia Jin.
Tadia Jin. Water Pillar.
Water Pillar. I know how to say that one.
Fire Pill. I got Fire Pill. You got the water. I got the fire. We got the flip. So here's the thing. I like the flip thing, but I don't want to have this spoiled. Like, I want to know the rares behind it, like, right when I want it, you know? Revenge of the Phoenix, by the way, good choice of art for the box prior. And look, hey, I was just holding this card, but in promo form.
Yeah.
Say this one.
Ogoik Kori.
Okay, good. Okay, good. That's what I was gonna guess, but I didn't want to feel really dumb. I just didn't. Okay, so you had to pick your favorite art in the set. What is it?
Ooh, favorite art in this set.
Yes.
I know overall my favorite art is
that's
Vampire
awesome.
Kiss. I do love.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one.
That the angel is coming back with its original artwork. That's very nice.
This is so cool. That
So,
looks so cool.
This creature originally showed up on a common in beta called Rampage Toss, and I was like, I love the creature so much in that card that we had to make the creature into its own card, and that's where
That's
that
so
came from.
cool. I love that. I think that's another great thing about how art impacts a game. When you take an artist and you just give them kind of like free reign to do stuff, you know, and then you just go, whatever's in the background, I want that, and it just builds on itself. I think that's really cool.
So actually, the story behind Revenge of the Phoenix was very similar. What happened with Rays was we started designing the set, but we're at rares. Let's look at rares first, then we'll talk about Revenge of the Phoenix.
All right, let's see what we got. You ready? Ooh, Anguish Flame.
Anguish Flame.
It's a good card right there.
The newest chapter of the Akashic Codex. So the Akashic Codex being the entire story arc of what's happening in Genesis. The newest chapter was called Anguish Flames. It was based around this card.
I saw that. It's posted on the website, right?
Yeah.
I know. I think you
All
linked
the
it
ones
in
on
Discord. Hey, look at that! We got ourselves a
There's your
purifying wave.
So you can actually see, like, the quotes from the Akashic Codex are the flavor text on some of these cards.
Oh, you know what? Look at that down there.
Yeah.
That's nice. And you know, this is an interesting way to kind of highlight the fact that you added this little. I guess what would you call it? Like it's a translucent backing for the card.
Yeah.
text.
So that's our promo template, but then we added that bottom part for you to sign because. Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's cool.
So, going back to Revenge of the Phoenix, what happened with Rays was we had already started the. We were so behind on the game design side of it, and the artists were ready to start working on something, but they ended up. I was like, all right, just do whatever you want to do, and yeah, it's
so
nice
good.
artwork. I was like, do whatever you want to do, and we'll make cards out of it, and that's where Revenge of the Phoenix came from. One of the artists made that artwork just as a fanfic, basically, and we're like, let's turn this into a card.
I honestly think that's not a bad way to design sometimes. I mean, I don't know if it can be sustainably exactly how you do things, but taking it and just being creative with, like, here's a beautiful piece of art, what can we do with it, and what does it say to you? Speaking of beautiful piece of art, that is fantastic as well. This was not a rare, or was it a rare? I feel like I remember
was
this
a
being
rare.
a rare. Yeah.
It was a rare. And so the 5 little spirits that are talking to Rain are the names of the 5 affiliations that are on the side of the card.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
you
there's
can see that
you
in
can see the
flavor text.
coloring,
Yeah.
which
So,
is clever.
yeah. I like how the lore's kind of building out that you had these 5 ancient beings that ruled the world, and they caused everyone to go to war. And behind the scene, there were a bunch of human clerics that ended up trapping them in another dimension to end the war. But their shadows came back out of that dimension and are now haunting Rain, and like forcing her to do things that she doesn't want to do.
That is so cool. Oh, look at that!
Hey,
Right
there
back
you go.
behind it. You love to
The
see
stack
it.
token.
Oh, look at this! We got ourselves a dragon. It looks way
Yeah.
better printed like this. I really do think so. Like
Mhm.
these colors are far superior. And then we have, how would you pronounce this? Hydualis?
Hydualis?
Yeah, Hydualis. Is that what you say too? Yeah, that's cool looking. So it's a fire attack and a water attack.
Yeah.
That
So
is
the
cool.
idea is, depending which of the 2 attacks you do, you get a different trigger. If you do the fire attack, you stun them. If you do the water attack, you push them.
That's cool. I think that's clever. Dude,
Yeah.
these, man, I'm really impressed with the changes and the improvements that you've made so far with this. Particularly just like the way these cards pop, the way they look,
Yeah.
the way they feel, like this feeling. Did you pick a different card stock?
Nope, it's the exact same card stock. It purely comes down to the way it was printed.
Printed
And the
onto it.
best part about the printer that we use this time is that they're carbon neutral.
Oh, wow.
So I was so excited about that because that's something that's been on my mind for so long.
God, that's fantastic.
And yeah, I know. It was inspired from there's this moment in Final Fantasy VIII where the evil witch like threw the spear at the main character. I was like, I want to take that exact same style and just do the same thing. I was like, yeah.
That's cool. Sunrise Fox. Into, hey, we got ourselves an Angel of Retribution and another Revenge of the
Another
Phoenix.
Revenge.
There you go.
So a nice thing about the way the boxes are is that there's 33 rares in the set, and you get 48 in a box. So you're gonna get at least one of every rare, and then double up on quite a few. And then depending on the epics that you get, you end up getting you could get triples of certain rares.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do you choose to... Wow, that's cool looking too.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that though. Do you choose to distribute it that way, or like does your collation just break down where you're like, okay, let's just include one of every rare in every box, or is it not necessarily that and it just could happen to be one of every rare?
We actually consciously did that.
Gotcha.
And a big reason behind that, again, because Genesis, the way deck design works is there's no limitations on the number of copies of a card. We want to make sure you can get the rares you're looking for as easily as possible.
Which is another thing that makes this game incredibly unique, is that you can play, like you said earlier, 7, 8 copies of a card in your deck and just provide yourself that kind of consistency to see that card, which is really cool. That's something I don't know any other game does that. Yamaraja? That's what I'm saying. Yamaraja, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. It's inspired by the Hindu god of death. So that's where that kind of concept came from. But it's supposed to be the angel on the ground, and the 2 weapons that Yamaraja is holding are the weapons that the angel has in its artwork.
Oh,
So it's a
yeah.
callback directly to the angel. You can see the sword and the spear,
Yeah,
and then you have the sword and the spear.
that's awesome.
And then the wings are stolen from the angel too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. But like, just taped on with duct tape, of course, right?
Yeah.
Just duct taped on. You gotta just duct tape it. Another anguish flame. We got ourselves another anguish flame, which is fun.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that you've put this art on a pack too.
Yeah. So the cool thing is we're doing our European expansion soon. And with that, one of the distributors we're working with, we made a custom promo for them. And it's actually the Anguish Flame, but changed, instead of the red coloring, it's changed to green because that's the distributor's kind of color.
Oh, that's clever.
So there's now going to be that European exclusive promo.
That's pretty cool. Foresight again. Angel's Embrace. We got the Skeleton Warrior token, followed by Ma'an Ghoul. Do you actually put the
Ma'an Ghoul?
emphasis there, or did you say Ma'an Ghoul?
I usually just say Mongol.
So
Monther,
he's a
Mongol.
cool dude. Oh, and Subjugation Strike too. I like the art. There's the splitting of the earth.
So this is one of the 2 cards that went from an uncommon up to a rare.
Oh, really?
And normally we don't want to do that. Like, that's not a great way to push things. But when we're looking at rarity of a set, we have to look at it in confinement of the set itself, not in comparison to previous sets or previous, decisions. And this card is just, in this set, it makes sense as a rare.
In what way? Why does it make sense as a rare?
Because it's a card that, one, satisfies that criteria that it's awesome when you open it up in a pack. But 2, it's also a card that you don't need a lot of it for it to have a high impact on the value of your deck. If you get 1 or 2 of them in your deck, they're going to be super useful.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. That's well thought out actually as well too. Upheaval again. We got another upheaval. Water Pillar followed by the Makara, Shadow's Grasp, Raha's here, and we got look at that.
There's the Brooke.
Look at that. Good
So
choice
when
for the art, man.
Yeah. When we commissioned the artwork for Brooke in beta, Remiana did 2 pieces. One of the pieces just was never used. So we decided, okay, this is the best time to introduce that artwork. And yeah, it just looks gorgeous.
I'm telling you, this is fantastic. Like just fantastic. That style is right up my alley. It feels like you could print that. Hey, look, we got another purifying wave. It feels like you could print that in just a large scale print and just put that in a house because it has that painterly quality.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's totally at home on a card. You know, it's totally at home on a playing card on a. Whoa! Wait, I just did that wrong.
So no, you did it right.
What?
This is one of the few times. It means that you got something special in your pack.
Oh snap! Come on. So wait, is it? Do I? I guess I just.
No, you did everything right.
I just roll it. I just roll it. Okay.
Yeah, just roll with it.
Oh, because there's 3, right? Because it would make there be 3. Is that right?
Yeah. I'll point it out when we get there.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything just yet.
Oh snap! Oh now I'm nervous. What did I do wrong or right? Shadow's Grasp, Dense Fog. We got the Barik Naga, Wind Slash. Oh hey, look, it's a foil card.
So that's what happens when you get a foil. It replaces one of your commons from the back of the pack.
Oh.
So technically, you only had 3 commons back there.
Okay.
That's why when you went to grab it, you grab the rare.
I didn't actually realize you put foils into this set.
Yep.
That is exciting, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Is it only foil commons?
Nope. The entire set can be foil.
Oh, dude, come on. Now I gotta go and get me some more foil cards. This is also beautiful art as well. I used that in one of the videos that I did. I think I actually might have just tucked that into the back of like the how to play video.
Very likely. It's such a beautiful piece. I keep on telling Demyan, like, it's such a wonderful art piece.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh no, I can improve it. And finally, he got his hands on the cards. I shipped them to them recently, and he got to see the cards in print. He's like, oh wait, this looks way better in your hand than it does like on the digital file.
So does this, by the way. This card looks great.
Oh yeah, right?
This card looks great. Fantastic. I really am blown away by the way that these cards pop off the card. Oh, look at it come. Look at that, man. That's cool. I want to see that in foil. That'd be sweet. Does that epic happen before the token then?
Yes.
It does.
So the epic replaces one of your uncommons. The foil replaces one of your commons.
Gotcha. Chiasmodon, huh?
Chiasmodon, yeah.
That's cool looking. I don't think I saw this card before.
It was from Raze. It's such a beautiful card.
Yeah, it is really cool. That's really, really cool. And oh, look, a Vorpal Blade. Which, by the way, is just, it's nice to see like those straight up callbacks to like high fantasy stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Vorpal Blade pops up every now and again, just about everywhere, and it's cool to see it pop up in Genesis. Whoa!
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh.
So part of the process of getting the cards into the packs, it's
Mhm.
part of its manual, and if cards kind of slip or fall upside down, then it's gonna show up in packs up backwards or upside down.
It happens.
But it's
Well,
weird.
hey, this
Yeah.
is interesting. Look at this. It's a
Yeah, that's really weird.
double common like style pack. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
I like that though. I mean, if you got good commons, then you're okay with it.
Oh yeah, right.
Got skeleton warriors. You stock up on those. Naga. We've got the instilled vigor. Ooh, underworld dealings. Another beautiful card.
Yes, I love that artwork.
I
love this kind of storyline that Idris is going down, and it gets really intense in the if you go to read the chapters. But it's kind of reminds me of. Have you ever watched Supernatural?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. So there's this entire story arc later on where Sam gets possessed by the by the devil,
Right.
and he's constantly having to fight it. That's kind of the story arc that Idris is going on, where she's getting possessed by this essence of chaos that's left behind, and she's trying to maintain her humanity while still fighting off the urges of this demon. So it's really, really dark.
I think this is a card that I was very close to actually just using the art in the how to play video just because I liked the art. Like, I literally was like, how can I do that? Can I use that card? I don't think I ever did find a place. Say this for me.
Nizu?
Nizu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got the Formosan gorilla. Just really unhappy with everything you're doing right now. Just very. He's not angry. He's just disappointed. He's got the look that I give my 6-year-old after he's
I love it.
clearly avoided his nap.
I totally need to make that into a mask or something that I can wear. Like
Just
when I go to
disappointed.
tournaments.
1, 2, 3, 4. We do the flip thing. We flip it, and let's see what we got. Haunted Catacombs. How often do you get a foil in a box? Is there
One
a
in every
breakdown?
17 packs.
Wow. Okay, so it's very rare
And
for the foil process.
It's kind of the callback to the old style of when foils were first brought into games. We really want them to be exciting. Even if you're getting a foil common, it should still feel exciting. Because, I mean, yeah, Demon Race. Beautiful.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt. That is fantastic. That hit me right where it needed to hit me.
Yeah. That's definitely up there as one of my favorite art pieces.
Oh my god. That is fantastic. Hey, look, a call to the bones.
That would be such a great pack for anyone
Dude.
who's just like getting into the game.
My goodness. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That is
But,
so good.
Yeah.
Man. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I
It's okay, it's
apologize.
okay. I feel like over time getting like foil commons has kind of it hasn't been exciting in some games, and we really wanted to come back to that where like that foil gut punch is the first one I've seen, like
Really?
pulled from a pack, and it's like that's pretty awesome. Like
That
you
is
don't get to
cool.
see foils from every single foil that often.
That's a good point. It does make it more unique. Oh, we got another angel. Look at this. A double
Yes.
angel box. And then a malfeasance.
Malfeasance, yeah.
Malfeasance. Oh, I
Yeah.
almost had it.
It's such a good card.
Reveals the top card of their timeline and then sends it to their memories. They lose that much health and you gain that much. Wow, that's a big old flip right there.
Yeah. So on the
Jeez.
low end, they're getting hit for 3, and you're gaining 3. But on the high end, you can hit them for 8 and then gain 8 back.
Yeah.
And that's intense.
That
And
is-
then they just lost their 8.
Right, exactly. That's incredible. That can be a big flip. But you're paying 22 for it, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's not exactly cheap.
No. The thing is, like, when you're gonna play something like that, you gotta make sure it's gonna stick.
Yeah. Displace. Androthera. We got more rabbits. Rabbits are just everywhere in the game. If you enjoy rabbits, then this is either the game for you, or it's not the game for you because they're gonna die. You make your own choice on that.
Violently.
And I will be putting that into the cupboard back there so that I can look at it. Dude, so fantastic. I saw this and I was like, yes, I would like to know more about this game. Yes, please, and thank you. Hey, look, we got the epic in the rare version. This seriously is, I think, the best art of champion in the set, in the game. I will die on that hill. Oh, look at this. We got Say this for me. Lightless Tibicina.
Tibicina?
Tibicina.
I don't know.
Just, it's a name. We just know that it's
I just call it Lightless.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
the one who named it, so you have to ask the author of the card at some point.
Still pretty cool. Okay, so favorite art or let's do this. Favorite hero, favorite champion. What do you think? Did this flip again?
Yeah, they flipped the comments backwards.
Oh, that's interesting.
Manual error. It happens.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Favorite champion. So storyline wise will be Rain.
Okay.
She's been the champion who I've been. She's been essentially part of my game design process for at least 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
A lot of the other champions are a lot newer. My favorite to play with though is Long.
Really?
And it's funny. I'm not much of a paladin healer type of character player when I play RPGs, but for this game, it works. It clicks for me. So
I'm surprised by that. We got another subjugation strike. Also, Kendra looks really cool. I have not played around with Kendra, but she looks very cool.
Yeah.
And Stone Protector of Knee.
So,
I've never seen this card.
For anyone who's a Doctor Who fan, there's a small callback to Doctor Who in this. So if you look at the chest, it's supposed to be like the panels of the door of the TARDIS. And then the top of the head, you get the little TARDIS thing. And what this card does is when it has a relocate effect, so it picks itself and one other thing that's on the same spot as it, and then teleports them anywhere on the board. So it works like a TARDIS. It teleports you around places.
I feel like I saw you talking about in the Discord like that card at some point.
It's definitely one of the cards that changed meta a lot.
Also, I just want to note, he's just chucking her, just across the world. Again, this is probably not the right way to parent someone, but I feel like every parent has felt that feeling of like that could happen at any moment right now with the way you're behaving. It's just I have a 1-month-old. For anyone that's watching that's new, I have a 1-month-old, and so it's funny whenever I guess every time I've had another child. This is my third son, and I just think about parenting in a different way each time. I guess as they grow up too, and so this just hits different. I'm just like, one of my kids today, you better watch out. A rampage toss is coming. It just might happen.
So Rampage Toss actually has an interesting story because when we went into beta testing for the game, someone posed that card to us, and we designed it that way. Like,
really?
They're like, it'd be really cool if you could just like pick people up and toss them. It's like, let's do that.
Well, we can make that happen. Thank you for your suggestion.
My man.
There he is. And we got another Yamaraja. He's pretty cool looking too. I think the design for him is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks way better with all the bright colors kind of really popping too.
Yeah.
Oops. Just went flying across the room. Another Zanbra Dragon. Stocked up on those. Let's keep them coming. I think I pulled a few of those prior as well.
Like, this is the thing about the set is that, yes, you're seeing a lot of duplicates of rares, and for just a general, like, box opening or stuff like that, it might get a little repetitive, but on the other hand, like, if you're new to the game and you just bought, like, one booster box, you'd want to double up on some of your favorite rares, right?
Yes.
And for our Welcome to Jaelara set, if you bought an entire box, you wouldn't get every single rare. There's 36 rares in the set and 24 rares in the like in a box. So you would still be missing 12 rares. So it was so painful for players because a lot of times they'll buy 1 or 2 boxes and they come up to me and be like, I haven't even seen some of these rares yet. It's like, that hurts. That just hurts.
Yeah, and in a game where, by the way, Enraged Gorilla followed by the Nizu. In a game where you can, again, deck build with so many copies of a card that you want, it's totally fine as from a player perspective to open duplicates of rares because you can jam them all. There's not like a cap where you go, oh man, I really wish I wouldn't have pulled that because I already have 2 or I already have 3, and you don't have to worry about that because if you have 3, well, now you can play 4, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart change. to include more. Yamaduda, by the way.
So this card is actually one of the cards. It got downshifted from a rare to a common.
It was a rare, yeah, I remember.
And it's one of those cards that, for a while, our lead game designer, Alex, he was like, I don't know why you want to reprint this card. I don't know why you like this card. I've never seen anyone use it well. And I was like, okay, just give me a second. So I built a deck, and we played, and I had like 12 of them in my deck. And he was just so frustrated because every time he would kill something, I'm like, all right, and at the end of your turn, I'm just going to bring this guy out. And I kept on throwing out walls that he could never get close to me in time. And I'm like, see, that's how the card needs to be played. You need, 8 to 12 copies of them. So keeping them at rare made no sense.
That's a good point. I actually thought this card was kind of cool, reading the text prior to actually sitting down and building any deck or anything. I was like, that's actually an interesting effect because that's kind of what you see. Like if you can just farm these out, or I guess on things that die and you just kind of bring one back, I think that's cool. Oh, look at us.
There's that Chrono
Walker. I was looking through my Genesis cards a couple of days ago, and I got to a Chrono Walker, and I was like, man, that's a cool looking card. Hey. What is this from?
What do you mean? It's from Genesis.
No, I mean, what is what set is this from?
Welcome to Jaelara. There was a version of it in beta, and the one in beta looked more like Pyramid Head from Resident Evil. And then it did. And then Welcome to Jaelara, Damian made a canon version of the artwork, and that's this. And the inspiration was a mix between that idea of the heavy hammer Pyramid Head from beta and Machamp from Pokemon. So that's why it has 4 arms.
Get out of here with that. That is a perfect explanation. That is hilarious.
Pyramid Head meets Machamp.
But really cool. It's very evocative. You want to know more about this. It feels very I don't know. It reminds me of the scales of judgment, one way or the other. But you also have this elemental tie-in, so you're wondering, what does the significance, of the Guardian of Balance? What is there's significance there? And I think that's exactly what you want in a card is to ask a question and to make people want to play with it just because of the, effect or card art, that sort of thing.
The other thing, I don't know if you've been hearing in the news about what's happening in Canada with the residential schools, but there was a big. It's a sad story. I'm not going to get into it. This isn't the time for that. But because of that, we didn't celebrate Canada Day this year. But we actually had a promo set aside for Canada Day, which was supposed to be an alternate version of the Guardian of Balance, and that would have been really cool. But we, because of what was happening just up here, we decided to cancel that promo. But I don't know. There was 2 versions Damian did. He did the light version and dark version, and I'm like, I want to get that dark version out there one day.
Have you spoiled that art?
I don't think I have.
Oh, you gotta drop that somewhere. Also, Epiphany, draw 3 cards.
Here's the other card that got upshifted from uncommon to rare. And for anyone who plays TCGs, they should know why this should have been a rare to begin with. Honestly.
Yeah, you can draw 3 cards. All you have to do is pay 10. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I will gladly.
This led to one of the biggest OTK decks in Genesis, and it was like, and then so the funny part was the OT deck came out. It was going to championship. Everyone was telling me you got to ban Epiphany after the championship. Ban Epiphany. So I was like, okay, let's see how the championship goes. We go into the championship, and of the top 4 decks, only one of them ran Epiphany, and I was just like, I can't justify this because the top decks, they don't really run Epiphany very well. So I think in this game, it's actually balanced, but no one wants it to be. Everyone wants it to be banned.
Well, it's a bad feeling when you can watch your opponent draw multiple sets of cards off of just playing a card, right? It's a bad feeling from that perspective, and so I could see the argument there. But drawing. Look, I'm still disappointed. This is everybody that wanted you to ban Epiphany in that moment. This was them.
Now this is a card that did fairly well in that tournament.
Formosan Gorilla. Why did it do well? I want to look. Hold on. Because I don't think I've read the text on this card. I don't think I actually have a Formosan Gorilla, besides the ones that I've pulled here. Deals 2 range earth damage to a target in its awareness.
So
Interesting.
basically, when it enters the arena, it hits for 2, and then it's a body. So it's kind of like having haste, or like just it comes in and it attacks right away.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. So it's a 5
That's
cheap to
true,
put in your
yeah.
deck. So you can put a lot of them into your deck. They're relatively cheap to play, and they're attacking the turn they're hitting the table. So you're already getting your value add.
That's a good point. I could see that. I could see that. Man, see, and this is another one of those things where, like, sitting down on Tabletop Simulator and playing out some of those scenarios and feeling it out, or watching someone do that, really pays off, too. Like, when I was watching a couple of the games that you had played or that some of the other content creators had played, it's like, oh, man, it's so fun to watch that tactical nature of the game as well, moving around the board. Playing down things. We've gotten like several.
I think
of
that's
these.
your third Kabus.
I'm pretty sure it's either 3 or 4, and I'm like totally here for it. I'm all the way here for it. Look, we got another epic. What is the drop rate?
Epics are 1 in 8. Either
okay.
1 in 7. 1 in 7.
Oh, so we're low. We gotta pick up the pace.
You should still get at least 1. It feels like.
Here's hoping. Hey.
Yeah. That's that for
Hey.
Love that.
Hey, that was the same rare combination actually from before, I think.
Nice.
All right, here we go. 2 left. We're down to 2. No matter what, I've thoroughly enjoyed opening these packs with you.
That's good.
Let's see if we can.
It would have been awkward if you didn't.
Let's see if we can get some spice. Are you ready? I just want something spicy right at the end. Let's see. We got the backflip. Hey, we got another Necro Lich. That's a great one. Hey, look, and we got a Celestial too. I dig that.
Hegemon.
Mm-hmm. That is a cool looking one. And final pack.
Ooh.
Good luck. Good luck. Here we go. Let's see what it is.
You're so hoping you get a foil and an epic in the same pack.
Oh my god, that would be legit. I just want another foil. I'm not gonna lie. Like, now that I know that exists, I'm kind of like, okay, I want to see the other foils. A foil rare. I want to see a foil rare. Haunted Catacombs. Same artist, excuse me, right?
Yeah. Well, there's Ramiana who did Baruch, and Gilded Stag.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah.
You know it's her because of the way that she's textured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really fantastic. I am gonna have to. Does she have an Instagram or anything like that?
I'll get you in touch with her accounts. I've been trying to get her to come back to the project for a long time. So on one end, I'm really excited and happy when my artists can go off and make a full-time career and stabilize a life. That's awesome. That's what we want. But we know that we're a transition company, and eventually they'll get to a point where they can't work on this project anymore. But it's always so sad when they leave, and it's like, oh, but you're such a good artist. Don't leave us.
I can understand that. Are you ready? Hey, we got another Gilded Stag. I'm telling you, that is fantastic looking. And we end it on the Alum. I like it.
So beautiful artwork. Great card.
I'm a sucker for blues and like bright colors, and so this hits like on all of those fronts. Blues, bright colors, mixture of like purples in there, like the art hits right where I'd want it to, which is great.
Oh yeah.
I love the fact that it also draws you a card, because I love drawing cards. I guess you could force your opponent to draw a card.
Yeah, you could.
Would you want that?
So, not very likely.
Yeah.
The one thing about Genesis though is that the game ends the moment a champion has 0 cards left in their deck.
Right.
So, it's not if they have 0 cards and they go to try to draw or anything like that. It's the moment their deck hits 0. So if they only have 1 card left, you can just ping that out and end the game. But in most situations,
that's almost never going to happen. I wish you could deck someone out though. That'd be kind of cool.
That is a concept we're exploring for the future. How do we do that in a nice balanced way?
Yeah, and that's another one of those things that can definitely feel bad. You can hit a feel bad on if your opponent can easily deck you out. It's like I can't do anything to stop that, right? So
but the nice part about Genesis, because it is bounded by the tactical elements, nothing's easy.
That's interesting. That's a good point. That's a really good
Because
point.
even if we put in a mechanic that can deck someone, you still have to get to them. You have to be in physical, like close range combat. If they're in your close range combat, that means you're in theirs, and
Right.
that's not a good feeling either. When they could just turn around and start pummeling you.
It totally
It's
opens
not
up
great.
a completely separate design space for how a card can function when you can set a boundary of use, I guess is the right way to say it, right? Playing something in your awareness or in the card's awareness
Yeah.
allows you another kind of pivot point, which I think is really cool. That's a good point.
Yeah. Because like no matter how powerful the most powerful card in the deck is or in the game, it's still bounded by the tactical elements, which inherently makes it weak in a lot of situations. So one of the most played cards in the game is Bolt Shot, and I've seen certain situations where Bolt Shot just isn't super valuable, and you're like, I'd rather have something that does something much smaller or costs me much less.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting thing for a game to do when it's saying that your best card in your deck, there's gonna be times where you don't need it as much as something else. So there are very, very few cards that are directly one-to-one, like this card is just strictly better than that card type of thing.
Right.
So
There's
both card shot, yeah.
no complete power creep, which is cool.
Because this card is so special for meta and competitive, we gave it a promo treatment to its text box and everything, despite it being a regular rare.
I think that's a really cool touch.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. When I pulled this, or when we opened it together, I was like, ooh, there's something interesting about that. Because you see this and you're like, that is not normal. And that little extra pop really goes a long way.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. Well, thank you so much for hanging out for me. I appreciate you taking an hour out of your life to hang out and watch me open packs and mispronounce cards. I thoroughly appreciate you helping me pronounce some of these better and telling me about the general design process and where you're going with it. I think this is fantastic.
Well, I think it's great that so my philosophy, my perspective on this has always been the content creators, the LGSs, all these other people who are bringing the game to the players and supporting the players, they're so essential to the process. So for me to not take time out of my day for you is like me saying I won't take time out of my day for, our chief sales officer or our game design team, because you're equally important to us. So the moment you asked if I could do this, I was like, yes, 100%. Because it's needed. I think it's needed for the game's growth, for us to show that we're available to the entire community to help them enjoy the game as much as possible.
And I think that speaks volumes too about just the intent for you and the company itself to want to be able to say that, because if you were in any other position, maybe you wouldn't necessarily care that much, but you've chosen to care that much, and so you've made it one of your tenets. It seems like, at least it speaks that way, that it's one of your tenets to be connected to the community and to content creators and to people. I think maybe that speaks to how you do things with your Patreon too, where you can kind of connect very closely to the people that support the game. I think it's all very important to the growth of the game, and I 100% appreciate that perspective or that choice, I guess the way I'm saying it.
Yeah. So another part to it is that I spent, before I even met you, I had spent years doing this content stuff on my own. I was the only person there being like, hey, check out me playing Genesis, or check out all the stuff. And it was just me. I felt like a little kid in a swarm of adults. So now that there are other people who are like, no, we'll stand beside you, I feel like I have my crew, like I'm in elementary school all over again, and here's my group of friends, and we're hanging out, and we're like, nah, check out this game. It feels good. It feels good to be part of the community. Yeah. I don't think it's the other way around. I don't think you're part of my community. I think I'm part of your community.
That's well said. That's really well said. Well, like I said, I appreciate it thoroughly. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you want to see more Genesis stuff like this, or if you want to hear more from Sid, let me know in a comment below, and we'll see what we can do about that. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.